Well, let's get back to our coverage of the release of former governors of Plateau and Taraba. Jimmy Abia is a lawyer who joins us live from Lagos. I'd like us to just move ahead with this conversation and talk about the condition for their pardon. So the Council of State has released both gentlemen on grounds of health and age. I don't know what the condition or the status of the other 157 released convicts are, but as a lawyer, from your experience, is this condition or this pardon available to every other convict in Nigeria who has health issues and who is old?
Of course it is not, because under Section 175 of the Constitution, the power to grant presidential pardon is at the prerogative of the president. That means that the president can grant it to whoever he wills. Of course, it has to go through the Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy that will recommend to the president. But the final decision, the actual decision on whom to get this prerogative, this grant of mercy, is that of the president.
There's been some form of comparison between what's happening now and what happened in 2013 when former President Goodluck Jonathan pardoned the former Bayelsa State Governor Dimi Alamisia. Even though the former President Obasanjo at the time condemned this, saying he was absent from the Council of State meeting, some have said that this was a pardon already done by the previous president that wasn't gazetted. The man already finished his jail term. He also was instrumental in the negotiation preceding the amnesty program. What's the implication of release like this on this administration's fight against corruption?
Of course, even if someone, let me take us back to some of the things you mentioned. You talked about where somebody has served his jail term, the jail term. Now, even if somebody has served a jail term, and the person, remains an ex-convict, the person can also be granted pardon, because if the pardon is not granted, the person remains an ex-convict. But once the pardon is granted, the person has all rights. To all intents and purposes, it is deemed as being that the offense was not committed in the first place. So that's for that. And then when it comes to grant of a presidential pardon, I think you mentioned something in the second part of your question. Sorry, please take me back there.
Yes, I was relating to what had transpired under the former President Goodluck Jonathan, a situation where the ex-governor who was pardoned, for instance, even pleaded guilty, unlike these two former governors who had prolonged their case with the AFCC, spending even taxpayers' money in the process.
Yes. So it is that issue, which worries some of us, that a situation where a country that says that has an issue with corruption, because we have a very serious issue with corruption. Corruption has been the issue, with government officials looting public funds. And we now have a situation where most of this pardon being granted by the state, by the government, or by the authorities, either at the state level or at the federal level, you have a situation where it is also to these corrupt cases, these corruption cases. These are the people, who are getting this pardon. So it seems to say that we are not serious about this fight against corruption. Imagine a situation where the government takes public funds, taxpayers' money, goes to institutes an action in court, commences prosecution, concludes prosecution, and the judiciary through the laws, gets this person convicted, and this person is meant to serve a term because of the offense which the person has been convicted of. And at the end of the day, no punishment is meted out, or at the end of the day, the person is granted pardon, and which means that the person is free from any allegations, is free from any dent for the offenses which the person has committed. And this does not speak right of the country. This does not help the fight against corruption.
Well, both men have barely served half of their J term. We'll follow conversations along this line and how Nigerians react to the latest development. Jimmy Abia is a lawyer who joined us live from Lagos. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure being with you.